Hello, my rabbit friends. Let's see what's going on with you. Okay, so rabbit means, the big deal with rabbits is that there's overthinking going on, maybe obsessively overthinking. And maybe that's something that's typical for you. Maybe that's just something that you're experiencing recently. But let's get into it. All right, so afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit. They shape your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, good listener. When out of balance, over explains, talks fast. To bring it to balance, a day of silence. I think what you're really seeking is a bit of stillness in your mind, but sometimes a day of silence can do that. Of course, on an ongoing basis, you may want to have something like a contemplation or meditation practice, or journaling. Journaling is fantastic. You can get everything out on paper, and then there's a sense of relief, or there can be. But you may need to do this on an ongoing basis. I don't think you can do it. Well, I know you can't do it once and get results, no. The more you practice, the more benefits you see, and some days you won't feel like you're getting any benefits, but the point is to do it every day anyway, because that's how you get benefits. It's something you have to practice a lot to get the benefits. All right, now then, looking at your tea leaf cards. I don't usually do this, but this was on the bottom of, the tea leaf deck is over 200 cards. So I have to shuffle it one half at a time because it's just too big. See? Anyway, I looked at the bottom of one of them after I shuffled it, and frankly, I never do that with this deck, but this time I did, and this just seemed to be important for you. So Moon, changes in your life. You will probably feel like there's a lot of change going on in your life, or maybe there's some change coming. Maybe you're in the midst of dealing with it. Anyway, the tea leaf cards are here to help you determine whether or not this is your reading. So in some fashion, they should be familiar to you, their messages. Okay, so we have bear, danger, especially in money matters. Something important, such as a new job or raise. So I think there's definitely some concerns here for you in regard to money, of course. This card was so persistent about coming out. Or was it this one? Oh no, I can't remember which one. Probably both, honestly. So money will be coming to you, so you are worrying for not no reason, but more than you need to. I mean, you do have to be responsible and take appropriate actions, right? But love is also going on in your life, and that may be something of a new experience for you. And then we have take care, enemies are working against you. I think it's more this sense of paranoia and overthinking and stepping into something unfamiliar and uncomfortable. I think really there's just a lot of anxiety going on in your mind. And that is the big issue. So let's see what Tarot has to say for you. I'm going to give this, what's going on here? All right. want to give this deck another really good shuffle before we get into it. Dang. Okay. So, when I first shuffled it, 2 cards came out that also came out, I think, in the last reading. The last full-length reading I did. I don't use these for my shorts. Anyway, the first card that came out was 4 of Pentacles, which I'm positive came out in my last reading. So I thought maybe I didn't break it up properly somehow. So I decided to, that's why I decided to give it another shuffle, because I was like, what's going on here? But here we are with the same card popping out first. The second card hasn't come back, at least not so far. Although Judgment may have been in that last reading too. This is weird. Unless it's the same collective and you're having a really bad day. I don't think the rabbit energy is a lasting energy for most people. I could be wrong about that. Well, that's interesting. You saw that, right? This card just landed on there all by itself. It's the 5 of Pentacles. And it wants to be up here on Judgment. So I guess that's what we're doing. And you have the 3 of Cups. It's in the upright, so that's good. You are the same collective, aren't you? That one came out last time too, didn't it? Tower in reverse. The inner tower. The reevaluating and recognizing that what you've built your life on is not. There's something really wrong there. Okay. I think we have more than enough cards here, so we're just going to start talking. Or I am. Okay, so 4 of Pentacles. I think it was in the upright last time. I'm not sure. So 4 of Pentacles in the upright can be about saving, about holding back, about trying to conserve resources. But we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse here. So maybe you're feeling like it might be time to loosen up a little bit. But we also have the 7 of Wands here, which is about having some good energetic boundaries. And then we have Judgment and 5 of Pentacles. I think that you have been going through a lot of change, which we already talked about in the tea leaf cards. A lot of change in regards to money matters. Your love life is becoming active, which may be making you very anxious if you haven't had a lot of success in that in the past, or it's something that came on you unexpectedly. Maybe you weren't looking for any kind of connection and boom, it happened. And that can kind of freak people out. So I'm seeing still a lot of fear here. You're also feeling, with judgment, a call to awaken, to be who you truly are. And although you on the one hand you have this loosening up, on the other hand you have this need for energetic boundaries. You're still feeling the need for boundaries, which, that can be perfectly healthy. But I think you're trying to navigate all this without being fearful, and you're struggling with that. There may be some underlying issues with unresolved grief. It's not like it's overwhelming you, but you may not have finished processing it. But you may know that already because you have the Tower in reverse. Maybe you are talking to somebody about it, some friends. Hopefully they're giving you good advice, good ideas. You're beginning to see that there may be possibilities. You're definitely not sure about that yet. The Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords and the Rabbit card they're like the same card. I mean, I almost said something when I was reading the description of the rabbit. The Nine of Swords is, so in the upright, it's all about being very anxious and fearful and just having a really negative outlook on things because of all your fears and anxieties. The Nine of Swords in reverse, it could be that you're letting go of those fears and anxieties, or it could be that, like the rabbit, you have said and done things based on your emotions, based on this nonstop anxiety, that has actually caused those anxieties to become manifest. So I think there is a sense inside you that you have more control over this than you have previously believed. So you're perhaps coming to understand, and this is empowering actually, coming to understand that you have more control over your own life, over the course of your own life, simply by how you think. Because how you think and how you feel affects how you behave, what choices you make, or don't, and what you do and don't do, and that shapes your life. So your thoughts, and especially your feelings, especially the ones that you don't recognize, the subconscious or unconscious feelings, those are the ones that are having a great deal of influence over your life without you realizing it. But I see with this that you are becoming more aware of that. And as that happens, as this awareness grows, as this understanding grows of your own responsibility, but also your own power in this situation, that's causing some change inside you. Okay, let's see what the universe has to say about all this. It's interesting that, so the three major issues I think that came up in your tea leaf cards were money, anxiety, and then the oddball card was love. There wasn't anything else there, just a card that said love or romance. I can't remember which one it said, but you get the idea. Let's see. Self-expression. Be bold, be heard. Rhythm and balance. Maybe that's why you got that boundaries card. Having some balance between protecting yourself and allowing yourself to act, allowing others in, allowing yourself to be heard and seen. Apparently, oh, this is interesting. Apparently, you really do want to get this going. You really do want change, I think. You want you to become... This also says negotiate, rhythm, balance, order. Send a clear message. All right, so there's a desire to communicate, and you really want to get it going, and you want to do it now. This card was underneath this one, and I shuffled it back in the deck because it was underneath, and I don't take underneath cards. But here it is again. So, it really meant to come out. This is not in your hands. That's okay. You don't have to be scared. Just because something is not completely under your control doesn't mean it's bad or that bad things will happen. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, fate, karma, cycles, forces of the universe. Get what you deserve. It's out of your hands. Destiny, synchronicity. All right. So you may feel like you should be rushing forward and expressing yourself. And this is saying that, nope, it's not up to you when it's time to do this. Maybe you need to conquer your rabbit energy first. I just spotted a sneaky card. Oh, okay. Yeah. See through the facade. Be wise and aware. Secrets lifted. Insights. Knows what's going on. And then we have the Wolverine. Fierce. Unpredictable. Power struggles. Forced action. Why do you feel like you're being forced into action? By your inner demons? And then we have deeply committed. Uncommon bonds. What's that about? Divine guidance. Well, that makes sense with the Wheel of Fate, Destiny, Karma. So the love thing is really feeling like there's something more to it than ordinary. And it seems to be, well, it would be out of your control because, first of all, there's another person involved. And secondly, it requires vulnerability. Okay, now I'm confused. Unless this storm that's brewing is an inner storm, which could be, so you got the Tower reversed. All right, so I think there is a total breakdown going on inside you of your old ways of thinking, being, and you're starting to hear your inner guidance. Or perhaps you need to listen to your inner guidance. It may be this, I suspect this tornado is why you are feeling like the rabbit. It's really blown your mind. So this uncommon bond, this whole spiritual experience has blown your mind. And now everything you thought was true is proving to be different. But you are learning to hear your inner guidance. You are feeling hopeful when you're not in this rabbit energy. I think you're feeling some peace. You're feeling like there's something of a miracle going on in your life. That's wonderful. You're just having a bad day, I think. It's okay. It'll get better. Maybe you're moving into the Nine of Swords in reverse. That means you're letting go of your anxiety. Maybe you are learning to let go of that. All right, some kind of thing is coming your way. Oh. Reconciliation. Gratitude, appreciation, openness. Wow, things are really turning positive in this reading. A bridge. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. You're learning to communicate. I'm not sure if this is your wish or whether, I mean, maybe it is. But if this is what you want to manifest, I mean, this whole reading has been about manifestation, about how your thoughts, ideas, feelings bring things into existence. How you can speak things into existence. Because that's what the rabbit does. The rabbit speaks things into existence. It speaks into existence things it doesn't want. So I'm not sure if you are trying to bring this into existence or if it is actually on its way. It could well be that this has been about your experience. But given that you're the rabbit person, I think this is what you're hoping for, that it hasn't happened yet. So the squirrel can be a bit of the Four of Pentacles too. Because we have the hoarding, the, stashing things away, hiding things for the future, preparing for the future by saving. But we also have the eagle here, challenging the status, opportunity, clear vision and perspective regarding the past, present, and future. So you want to go from hoarding to planting. Small beginnings, big results. Hope. Hidden possibilities. So, okay. Sometimes you are really fearful. Sometimes you are really hopeful. And a lot of it has to do with your perspective. There is a challenge to the status quo. This thing is not going to let you stay the way you were. You have the ability Okay. You have the ability to change this. It may not be the time to act right now. I mean, you still have your small steps to go through. So right now it probably feels like a stalemate. And maybe it feels like it will always be a stalemate. But you have to allow time for things to grow. You have to allow yourself to ask questions, be curious, be adaptable, creative, to be resourceful and clever. You have all that stuff within you, and you can use it to take what you have now and turn it into something else. So this is alchemy, this is transmutation, this is taking one thing and turning it into something very different. I'm not getting, I know, I can see that there's a desire for action, but it seems to me that until this rabbit energy is resolved, it's just simply not time to act. There's too much fear. And that's, don't beat yourself up about it, basically. Like I said, I think journaling's your best bet. If you've got a lot of junk to get out, the best thing to do is sit down and start writing. I think handwriting works better, not typing, not using your phone or whatever. Sit down with paper and pencil and write it down. And try to allow the words to just flow. Don't think about them too much. Because you want things to come out that are deeper than your surface mind. So don't let your surface mind be in control. And I know that's easier said than done. But practice makes perfect, or at least a lot better. Anyway, let's move on to your archetype cards, because I think that will help you the most. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. 37, the desert and the self. Not sure I've ever seen that one either. The self is 29. Okay, and the vow. That one I've seen. Okay, 54. 37, 29, 54. The desert, the self, and the vow. I'm going to read them in the order they came out. The desert, the drought, the wasteland, the badlands. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. That sounds like you, rabbit person. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright, and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. When light, surreal, strange, unexpected visions, silence. When dark, drying, deadening, disorienting, isolating. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy, despite its desolate appearance. Turn toward it rather than away from it. When in the throes of the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone. You have more supplies with you than you think. Water is very near. And I know that you are worried about resources. There was a thought that came to me while I was reading this. And it's gone away. All right, well, we'll see if it shows up again. 29. The self, the soul, the witness, the watcher. The self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personalities to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress any of its parts, as it lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and a place, and leads us to experience the full breadth of life's offerings. The self is the central abiding container, the awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. When this card appears, it's a call to step back into witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world. Ask yourself, am I the stew or am I the chef? In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is a graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, observing as the spectrum of ingredients become the flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. Attempt to see the you behind the you. I'm not a big fan of the mirror exercise, just saying. I think there's some real serious limitations to it. If you want to try it once in a while, fine, but I think people can outgrow it pretty quickly. When light, witnessing, accepting new aspects of the self. When dark, disjointed, fatigued, diffused energy and purpose. So maybe some focus issues here. It's no surprise that two central mantras in the yoga tradition concern themselves with the self. Experiment with Soham and Satnam. Soham, I am that, and Satnam, true identity. If this card is perplexing for you, you are on the right track. It challenges us to expand our sense of identity beyond the little self, and the ego resists such movement. All right, moving on to the vow. 54. The promise, the oath, the contract. When the vow is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness, the laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten, so breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vows we are living by, consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit to them or create a ritual that signifies their closure. You've been underestimating the powers of your promises. When light, bearing witness to the shift towards destiny. You did have the Wheel of Fortune card come out. And there was another one. Perhaps the... this one. Divine guidance, trials, destiny, spirituality. It's not an easy path to follow. Anyway, back to this. When dark, unconscious vows, unkept promises, messy karma. Didn't you have something about cleaning up? Maybe not. All right. Anytime the energy of the vow is present, we are in the archetypal realm of ceremony and ritual. That means time stands still and anything is possible. Think of the last promise you made. Was it to yourself or another? Has it been upheld or broken? All right, my rabbit friends. Looks like there's a lot going on for you, and a lot coming. Most of it very good. If you can calm yourself, or at least bring some stillness to your mind. Or awareness. Awareness would be a wonderful first step. I am wishing you all the best, as always. I hope you do take up journaling, if you haven't already. And good luck.